You can see here that I'm using the 3D modeling workspace. All right. And with that, I have access to my modeling panel, solids editing, draw, modify. We'll also take a look at coordinates and view, and we'll be using our layers here since we're going to be working with our template. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to create a new drawing based on my template. I'll be working in the model here. I'll go ahead and zoom out so I can see that UCS and turn off my grid for the moment. And so if we take a look at our layers real quick here, you can see we've got our standard layer set. Normally we would be using the object layer here to lay out our 2D geometry. But I'm going to turn your attention to the 3D layer here, since what we're going to do is we're going to build the VIca bracket from scratch as a solid model. Okay, so we'll be working mostly with the 3D layer to develop the solid right now. Okay, and also if we take a look at the overall part right here, you can see its basic shape is a U shape, all right, with a consistent thickness for the part. So obviously we probably would want to start in the top view. Okay, and that's our default view. Now again, we can work with 2D polylines or closed lines, and or we can convert those to regions. So we'll take a look at both ways, but first let's go ahead and get started here. I can get started with the overall profile as a polyline. So I'll start with that. Again, we're only going to use the origin here as a reference. We don't need to be working at the origin, but I'll start with the upper left-hand corner here. Now we got one side, I'll go ahead and turn on my polar tracking. We got one side here that's 250, and then we have the overall dimension here of 350. And you can see just with my tracking tools here, can make the sketching very easy here. And then as we come in, okay, we have a thickness there of 0.25. Bring it down here. And so since we have 250 for the overall, we have 225 here. Bring it around, we have a total of 3. And again, we can track and then simply close it. Type C to close it. And you can see this is a closed polyline. All right, now if I start to look at my views here, I'll look at viewport and then split our single viewport into two using the vertical option. In one view I can have all my orthographic views, and in the other viewport what I like to do here is use an isometric view and also place or show the display here as conceptual. This will help me to distinguish my outlines as regions or just as plain wireframe outlines. But it'll also give me an opportunity to see the solid model as it's being constructed and help me to see the front, back, and all the other faces as well. Okay, so what I could do now in either viewport is go ahead and extrude. So I'll go ahead and select that profile, hit enter, and again, just by looking at the model here, I can see that it is a 2-inch extrusion. All right, so now you can see on the right side I've got a mass, got a model there already. And so as we proceed now, what I would tell you is take a look at each of the faces of your model. If I show you here a sample, you can see we have features in the front face, features on the right and on the left face. Now what we could do here is we can use the 3-point UCS to create a new UCS on each face. Okay, that'll help us to use our traditional drafting tools, or 2D drafting tools, and our traditional approach to lay out the geometry accurately.